2414 is a podcast about finding hope and common ground through casual conversation. Like the friends on the road in the New Testament, in Luke chapter 24, verse 14, we want to walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. Thanks for walking with us.
Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is 2414. My name is Shane, last name Welter, if that matters. And this is 2414, a podcast about hope and common ground and just conversation and just talking with one another. I'm joined by two very special, awesome people. Robert Grothe. Hello, hello.
Hi, hello. Thank you. Good to be here.
And Jan Grothe.
Hello.
Hello. And I'm so glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
And we are just going to learn all about Robert. You're like learning your life story. Not to, I like overhype or anything, but I've heard a little bit about your story at some like Pastor Dan's Christmas parties, and I've always wanted to just know more about it. It's in fact like it really just like infatuates me so much. Of like, wow, that's where you grew up, and like, wow, it's so cool to me. So I'm very eager to hear and learn more about your story and kind of.
I'm glad to be here and be happy to share.
Yeah. So, not to spoil anything, but Jan and Robert Grothe, you guys are married. How long have you guys been married?
49 years.
49 years.
Yep.
Just recently?
Just recently.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Approaching the big 50.
I
Wow.
know,
Next
right?
year.
You doing anything special? Do you know yet?
No, we don't know yet.
You'll find out a month
We'll find
before.
out, right?
That's
Probably, yes.
That's incredible. I think in previous episodes we had Rob and Aria, Rob, son, Aria, wife of Rob, on the episode. And I don't remember what they were talking about. It was so long ago.
I don't remember either. Yeah.
I don't either.
It's so funny. And it's probably going to be funny when this is all like fully produced and I'm listening to it, because Jan is also the voice at the beginning and end of 2414.
Oh, that's right.
So it'll just sound like a seamless,
Oh, sure.
like you were just reading the script at the beginning. So it's super fun. Well, kicking things off, I guess we love to start each episode with highs and lows, and sometimes we do a question a day, sometimes we play a game. I've spoiled it a little for you guys. We're going to do a little of wheels versus doors, which even if it's confusing and a mess, that's what's going to make it all the more fun.
Yes.
Us just figuring it out. Like, what is
Right.
this game? We don't even know. We made up the rules. We've just been running with it ever since. So highs and lows. I'm going to start so you guys have maybe time to process, think of what that might be. And this can be today, it can be within the week, it can be within the month, whatever's kind of on your mind or heart. I just love starting any conversation really with like a high, low, or what's going great, or what's not great in life right now. And you could be as real or fake as you want. I don't care. But I'll kick things off.
All right.
Highs and lows. For me, I'd say a low was, I didn't even think of what I was going to say yet. A low for me was Lucia. She's a very active baby. My low isn't Lucia per se. So, some sleepless things are pretty low. But I was just in California for a songwriters retreat this past weekend, and while I was there, Lauren told me Lucia took her first steps. I was like, no,
you missed it.
No.
and I keep telling Lauren those weren't really her first steps. I keep telling her that she was falling with style.
Oh, there, yeah.
But I'm super proud of Lucia, but I'm also jealous. Like, no, I missed.
She's not even a year, right?
Not even a year.
Yeah.
She just turned 10 months.
Wow, that is
yesterday.
early.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Early.
She she was crawling super early as a baby, but she's a mover. She's got so much energy. She keeps Lauren and I very busy.
Oh, man.
So my lows, missing Lucia's first steps. But my high, the reason I missed her first steps, I don't think it makes up for it, but is really cool. I was just in California, Concordia University, Irvine, for a songwriters retreat. Out of the conference retreat, whatever it's called, a bunch of kind of Lutheran songwriters come together and we write songs. So in your small groups in which you've divvied up in, you write 3 songs out of it, but out of all those 60 people who are together, out of over 60 songs get written. And so it's just a super cool, just artistic endeavor and kind of coming together of a bunch of people in our church body, writing music together. And I only heard a fraction of them. So it's just neat to hear them trickled out and
very
placed
cool
over time. Yeah.
It's good.
So super, super cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll go clockwise. So Jan's to my left.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highs and lows.
Highs and lows. I think a low, like for this week, was I picked up Hayden from school on Friday, my grandson, and he was not feeling well. I mean, he was so sick. And so he spent the weekend just not feeling well and finally started to get better again. But that's a low, just, for him.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Not fun.
Especially when you're like wrapping up school. Like
right. Yes.
You're missing out on the last
few days. Well, he's got a week. Okay. In a couple days.
One extra week.
Yep.
Still not fun for him.
Still not fun. Yeah. So he missed all his baseball games this weekend because he just wasn't feeling well. Yeah. It's hard. Hard when you're 10.
Yeah.
Yep. Highs. Well, I have two. One is that I know, a lot of Northwest people don't think this, but I like the cool weather and the rain. It just fills me, and that's a high for me.
Yeah.
I do like it. And then the other one is my daughter invited me to stay with my grandson while they took their older child to college. So in August, I'm going to go down and stay with Ethan while they take Caleb to college at Seward. Yeah, Concordia Seward. Yeah,
Concordia Seward. Okay, yeah. I can't imagine any other reason to go to Seward, Nebraska.
Right, exactly. No, he's going to Concordia.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you get to be grandma.
So I get to be grandma and take care of. Well, take care. He's 14, so it's just a presence pretty much in the house. But it'll be fun taking him to school and back and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh, that's super fun. I also agree totally. Like I'm excited for summer and the sun, but when it's like a warmer rain and like it feels like, I don't know. There's something cool about it.
It is cool. Yeah. It's just me. Yeah.
I like it. I like it too. So
okay.
I agree with that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Robert, highs and lows.
Well, I think it's been got a little disappointment when I went to get my prescription for new glasses.
Okay? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he said that there was no problem with my prescription, but that my glaucoma has been getting worse.
Oh.
So, and the pressure in the eyes have gone up substantially. And he said, you will be blind if you don't get it done pretty quick. So that was a little scary. So I've got a doctor's appointment set up and going to do it. They've got medications for it. So but that was a low. I was thinking I was done worrying about the balance and stuff. Now I have to think about it some more. But on the that's kind of a downer for me.
Yeah,
but on the
that's real life.
Upside, on the upside, I'm looking forward to the mission trip to Hoonah.
Are you going?
I'll be a part of that, and it's quite exciting. It's been a decade or 10 years.
So you have been to Hoonah, Alaska before?
Once before, about 10 years ago, and loved it. Went with kids though. It was half kids, half adults.
Yeah.
And then we took to the village and brought them a VBS. Had about 30 young children come in from the community there at Hoonah in Alaska, and it was fantastic. I just loved it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I haven't had an opportunity to do that with working and other things. Now that I'm retired, I have a little more flexibility. So so I said, yes, let's do it one more time. This will definitely be my last time doing it.
Yes, and, last hurrah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm excited. I've got a fantastic group to go with, all adults, and we are planning on doing that in the middle of July. And so that's a big high for me, is to do that. And they they asked me to be the tech guy, like you.
Ooh,
okay.
Yes. Scary. It could be very scary.
Well, yes and no. I like tech, just like you.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
And it's not as extensive as this podcast. So
When it works, it's great.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So,
I hope and pray it works for your sake.
but I'm looking forward to the kids. We've already sent flyers out to the community, and and there's a pastor there that will spread them around and let all the families know that we're coming. And then they don't do a VBS for the kids there. The church doesn't.
Yeah.
And so this is us. This is what we do.
Yes.
And we've been doing it for over 20 years at St. Luke's.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be a part of it and to get back out and do and feel like I'm helping with the mission field. Okay.
Yeah, that's so exciting. I'm so happy for you.
So
You
that's
get
a
to
big
do
high.
that.
That's a big high. Yeah. No.
And when is that in July?
In July. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be in the middle of July for a week.
Yes.
For a week. Yeah. And it's just a bonding experience too with a bunch of our people I haven't really got to know.
Yes.
So a whole new kind of generation, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to our team pulling together and doing stuff and bonding. But I'm also looking forward to re-meeting some of the kids I met 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Who now are grown, or at least getting very close to being grown. And, they're in their 20s now. So...
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to be blown away as I look around the community and stuff. But it's exciting. Yeah.
That's super exciting. Well, we're happy for you. That's super fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you guys got a lot of travel coming up.
Got travel coming up.
Summer.
Yep.
To one to a desert, more or less, and one to the tundra in the north.
Exactly. Yeah.
Could be more opposite, but it's so fun.
It's opposite. It sure is. Yeah.
Speaking of opposites, I love my transitions. We're playing a very random game. Before learning more about you, Robert, I love playing a game and podcast purely for the sake of I'm competitive, but I also love games. And they're just fun.
It's just fun.
They're just fun to do. So listeners, you can play this game at home. It's called Wheels versus Doors. It's a actual board game, but I've never played the actual board game. I don't know how it works, but it's based on the premise of this internet question that popped up that went, are there more doors or more wheels in the world? I don't know how you measure that. I don't know how you even quantify that. But that game's kind of based around this idea of, is there more of this or more of that in the world? And so how we're going to play it, I've got a card of 6 different items, or 6 different, how many of this there are in the world.
Okay.
And what we're going to do, we're kind of going to go pair by pair and see, and guess. I haven't looked at the answer to this card, but if you want to number your sheet, I think it's 1 through, I remember, either 1 through 6 or 1 through 7. I guess there's no...
Okay.
So we've got some papers in front of us. Listeners at home, if you want to just play and remember, I think there's more of this, you probably would do a good job remembering. For me, it's easier to remember if I write things down.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are we writing down?
So all you're going to write is just... which of the 2 things you think there's more of. You don't have to spell it out exactly. You could just say whatever it is. So, for example, we're just going to jump right into it.
Let's go for it.
The first pair is width of meters of the Victoria Falls, or miles per hour in velocity of the world's fastest jet plane. So you don't have to write meter. You just write the number. So... Or you don't even have to write the number. Which number do you think is bigger? That's what it is.
Victoria Falls or...
Yes, the width of meters of Victoria Falls, or miles per hour in velocity of the world's fastest jet plane. Don't worry, none of us actually know the answer. So there's no feeling smart or not. It's only luck. It is only luck.
Okay.
So you can either, whatever you need to write, you can either write Victoria Falls, or you could write jet, plane, miles per hour, whatever it is. So
and it's miles per hour.
It is. And you don't need to know the actual number. Well, it's either, you're just going to either
it's miles and not feet.
Correct.
Not meters.
Feet per second. Miles per hour. Yes.
Okay, got it.
All right. Our second pairing is So we're gonna keep going down. Miles per hour and velocity of the world's fastest jet plane, or acres in Central Park, New York. So how many acres? Which number is bigger? Miles per hour and velocity of the world's fastest jet plane, or acres in Central Park, New York?
Okay, I think I'm pretty confident about that one, but okay, we'll see.
I am not. I don't feel great.
Not.
All right. Our next pairing, we have acres in Central Park, New York, or miles in the longest foot race, the self-transcendence. That must be the name of it. So, acres in Central Park, New York, or miles in the longest foot race called the self-transcendence.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. But these keep getting weirder and weirder.
These
I love it.
are getting weirder and weirder. And then you just think about what's next with the two pairings.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, it gets messy. All right,
gets
so
messy.
we've got our question number 4: miles in the longest foot race, the self-transcendence, or quarter pounders you can make from one adult cow.
Oh, okay.
How many quarter pounders can you make? So miles in foot race, miles in the longest foot race, or quarter pounders you can make from one adult cow.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck. All right. We got 2 more. All right. Quarter pounders that you can make from one adult cow, or seats in the Royal Albert Hall in London. Don't even know where though. I don't even know what. I can't even imagine that.
Okay.
So quarter pounders you can make from one adult cow, or seats in the Royal Albert Hall in London.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know if I've
Even
what it would look
historically.
like.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Me either. Go ahead.
And our final one, before there's one more kind of bonus one: seats in Royal Albert Hall, London, or width in meters of the Victoria Falls. So we're kind of back to our first one. So
back to the
seats
first
in the
one.
Royal Albert Hall, or width in meters of Victoria Falls.
Okay, sometimes when I listen to the podcast, I actually pretty much know the answers.
Yeah.
None of these.
You don't feel confident anymore?
I do not feel confident. Not a bit. No.
It's humbling, listeners. It is humbling to actually be put on the spot.
Yes, it is.
All right, and for our extra credit one, which of all the ones we've listed so far do you think is the most? So out of
all of this?
Yeah, out of all of width in meters of Victoria.
Okay. Yeah.
Out of the miles per hour, the world's fastest jet plane, acres, Central New York, miles in the longest foot race, quarter pounders you can make from adult cow, or seats in the Royal Albert Hall in London, which one do you think is the biggest number?
Wow.
All right. Answers locked in. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. For our first pairing, width in meters of Victoria Falls, or miles per hour in velocity of the world's fastest jet plane, Victoria Falls is 1,708 meters, and the miles per hour in the velocity of the world's fastest jet plane is 2,200. So the miles per hour in the jet plane is the higher number, if you wrote that.
I got it.
No, I got that.
I did not.
wrong. No.
I did not. All right, second pairing.
I get to watch a bunch of experimental videos about experimental planes and stuff. Yeah.
You are confident. All right, second pairing, miles per hour velocity of the fastest jet plane, or acres in Central Park, New York. So we had 2,200 for the jet plane, and there's 843 acres in Central Park. So the jet plane is faster.
I got it.
You're 2 for 2.
I got that one wrong.
I knew the jet plane was fast.
I had no idea.
I do not. I'm feeling lucky. Okay. We have acres in Central Park, New York, or miles in the longest foot race, the self-transcendence. So we had 843 acres Central Park. Which one do you guys think is more?
Oh, the foot race.
Well, I put Central Park.
We have 3,100 for the longest foot race. Miles.
3,000.
3,100 miles in the longest foot race.
Remember Sahara? Not Sahara. What was it?
No, that's a foot race, though. That's not on horse.
This says foot race. Miles and longest foot race.
Oh, I know.
But is it still long? Like
they go across Australia.
Oh my goodness!
It's a complete race for the Arabian horses. Yeah.
So this is the longest foot race.
It wasn't.
Miles. That's wild.
It was.
I don't remember the movie, but
the movie was about a cowboy that had a Mustang, and
like a horse Mustang.
From America.
Okay,
and he was with the Wild Bill circus and stuff. And El Dago was his name. I can't remember the name of the movie though. Okay,
wow,
but it was good. Anyway,
either way, that blows my mind. Okay, 3,100 miles was the longest foot race. Okay, next one, miles and foot race, which is 3,100, or quarter pounders you can make from one adult cow. What do you guys think? I put foot race.
I put foot race.
I put foot race.
It is foot race because you can only make 1,600 quarter pounders from an adult cow.
Can you?
Foot race.
That blows me away.
Which is more than I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of quarter pounders.
Yeah.
I got to get myself an adult cow because that sounds great. That sounds great.
That gives me another win, though. Okay.
Yeah. Woo! Okay. We got quarter pounders you can make from one adult cow, or seats in the Royal Albert Hall in London. There's 1,600 quarter pounders you can make from an adult cow. In seats at the Royal Hall, there are 5,272. Which I did not get that one.
I did not get that one either.
Okay, I got that one.
Jan knows it.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a comeback for Jan. Woo.
Yes.
All right. And our last of official, the one we said with the most is more or less a tiebreaker. So it's either, bonus points or not. But our last one, seats in Royal Albert Hall, or width in meters of Victoria. So there were 5,272 seats, and there are 1,708 meters in Victoria Falls. So the winner is seats in Royal Albert Hall.
Seats in Royal Albert, but I got that wrong.
I did too.
Ugh.
All right, and for just extra credit, bonus points, I put foot race for the longest. What'd you put, Jan?
I
For the
put
biggest.
Central Park.
Central Park.
And
Robert.
I put jet plane.
Oh, so the seats in Royal Albert Hall was the
would
most.
actually been the most.
Would have been the most. 5,272.
I've never been there, so I had no idea how many seats it was.
No, I don't even know what it is. I feel bad. I feel like I should, but
kind of like an auditorium kind of thing.
I'm imagining some historic.
It's
that in
historic. It's old.
English?
Yeah.
London. Yeah, London. Yeah.
London.
Oh, so I did not get the extra credit. So
I didn't get any.
I got
anything.
3 total in the end of this.
I only got 2.
I got 4.
Woo! All right, I got some. There's your cheers, Robert. The crowd goes wild.
You do have effects on this thing.
I do.
Yeah.
They're color coded, and I don't have a guide for the color code, so sometimes I don't know what I'm pushing, and it's just a luck of the draw.
Folks, we really do not have an audience here. So.
I don't know. They're hidden in the walls,
They're hidden,
maybe.
right?
Yes.
We'll never know. So congratulations. Good game, everyone.
Have fun.
And listeners at home, you might have done well yourselves, but not me. But Robert, congratulations.
Learned a few things.
Not me.
Maybe we planned this all along because we're talking all about you, right?
I doubt it.
I don't know, but I love my transitions, and you couldn't make that any easier because, well, it's all about you. No, I mean,
all about me.
about me. But
yeah.
The Pastor Dan had a Coco's and Carol's Christmas, a party at his house right before, Christmas Eve sometime. And I remember talking to you, and we're going to learn all about it, but from what I remember, like, you grew up in Texas, and you kind of grew up in just what would be the middle of nowhere for me. I mean, I grew up in Wisconsin. I thought, like, it was more like suburb, kind of rural, but we learned about where you grew up. It's just like you don't hear about stories like that nowadays. So I'm so excited to hear all about. So Robert, where are you from originally? Where were you born?
Okay, well, let me qualify by saying this was 70 years ago now, 71 years ago.
Really? Wow.
That I'm talking about. But I was born in San Angelo, Texas, which is out in West Texas.
What is it called?
San Angelo.
San Angelo.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fairly big for West Texas anyway. It's fairly big.
Yeah.
It has about 80,000 people. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What constitutes as like West Texas? Where's that like
Texas,
on the map?
Well, there's where the sand begins.
Oh, okay.
We're Mesquite. It comes up in the middle part of Texas. There's a bunch of mesquite and sagebrush and savanna, not savanna, but just rolling hills kind of thing. And then it flattens out, and it becomes no trees and all sand. We're right on the outskirts of that. Okay, I mean we're on the inskirts, I guess you'd say, in that we're south. Okay, we're just south of that. We're kind of in between the two kinds of environments that Texas predominant environments that Texas has.
Is it considered desert?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Anything west of that begins desert, and anything east or southeast of that is where more trees grow and bigger plants and stuff and more water. This kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
That's important.
I grew up right on the edge of that, and I grew up on a small farm, a vegetable farm with my folks.
Vegetable? What kind of vegetables?
All kinds of vegetables. I mean, we had onions and okra and tomatoes and
I miss okra.
Black-eyed peas. You probably hear about those here, but in the South they're very popular. Black-eyed peas, and they were all done by slave labor, which is us kids,
Yeah.
there were 8 of us,
You were the workers.
Well, it didn't start out that way. Dad actually showed me pictures. I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
And Dad showed me pictures, black and white, of course. There was no color back then. Yeah. But black and white of the workers that worked in the fields, and he hired them from Mexico. They came over the border from Mexico, and
were you guys close to? Is that like closer to?
Well, not too close. No, probably 200 or 300 miles. Yeah.
Okay. Not like right on it.
But that's kind of a drop in. Well, it's Central Texas. Okay. Central Texas, but they came up way up. And worked the farms, and Dad would hire them to do the labor, and then he started having kids.
Yes.
And he replaced
you the first.
each one with a kid, And so by the time they were done with having kids, there were 8 of us. Yeah.
Wow.
4 boys first, and then 4 girls. So
nice even keel.
Would have been 9, but one of my brothers passed away.
No, it's 8 with your brother.
8 with my brother?
Yes.
3 girls then.
Yes.
Okay.
5 boys, 3 girls. Okay. Yeah, and there's the faith walk there is something I was going to share.
But you grew
up in a Lutheran family.
Okay.
And my father was a very Lutheran. They spoke German.
Really? At the church?
No.
Or your family did?
No.
Oh,
back up.
Okay.
My father's family, my grandfather and the family, he had 13 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
And they worked a cotton farm, dry weather cotton farm of 2 sections.
Wow.
A section is about 10 miles square.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two 10 miles.
Two of those. Out in West Texas around Ackerley or Big Springs area. Okay. And owned that land, and that was in desert country.
Wow.
And the reason I know is that when I went to talk to my grandpa about why they came out of that environment down to the Central Texas area, was that the Dust Bowl. The dust bowls just started covering everything, and the dust was micro granular. It would get in the lungs and create pneumonia and would kill people. It was killing people. It was so bad up there. And Grandma got sick. And so
your grandma or
my grandmother,
Okay.
on my father's side, got sick. And so they left Ackerley, and they left Big Springs in those 2 sections, and they came and bought about 50 acres down in West Texas, where I was born. Okay?
Yeah.
And it was, and to get out of the Dust Bowl and to save Grandma's life. Okay.
Wow.
And they got water. They had wells on 2 wells on our property. I should say the state got a big bunch of money, and they put a major road right through the middle of my grandpa's property then. Okay.
So
Eminent domain, okay?
Yes.
And they took it, and there was a main road. It was good. It was it was State Road 87, okay?
Yeah.
And it was good because it brought a lot of traffic to San Angelo. But that divided his property then, north and south, and they had to walk across to work the fields then.
Yeah.
And luckily they had wells on both sides, so that was good. But there was and so that was good until I was about 4, maybe. Well, yeah, something like that. And then Grandma one day went out to get the mail, and I might get a little emotional here. Sorry.
That's okay. Got tissues.
Might need them. Went to get the mail early in the morning.
Yeah.
And she didn't see this. A nurse had pulled a double shift the night before and was on her way home and fell asleep behind the wheel and hit my grandmother. They went out. He went out to get the mail. It was a rule box, okay, mailbox.
Yeah.
And she went out to get it. Didn't see the car. The car hit her head on and drug her under the car about 150 feet.
Oh my goodness!
Mangled her body. That's stories now. I didn't see it, but
yeah,
mangled her body and damaged her. So she was critically, and San Angelo didn't have the medical facilities to do it.
No.
So they went and they said, if you get her to Houston, Texas, to the brain trauma center, you can do that. She might be able to survive. They have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But you have to fly her. You cannot take her by ambulance or she will die.
Oh my goodness.
And so that's what my grandpa did. My grandpa got a plane. My grandpa didn't fly.
Yeah.
But he knew people that did. And so he rented a plane and got her down there. And it took months and months of rehabilitation and all of that, but she did survive. Yeah.
Praise God. That is incredible.
It was.
Wow.
Yeah. And she came out with just a kind of a malformed ankle, and then she always limped. Okay.
Yeah. But that's the extent. Like,
and her brain was slow. It took a while to come back. Okay. Kind of like Pastor. Can I say this?
Oh.
No? Okay.
But
I won't bring that up. But okay.
Yes,
but anyway, she came back and she outlived my grandpa.
Really? So she got pneumonia, was the reason you guys moved. It was in this tragic car accident and then outlived that.
Right.
Wow. And what God did in that whole thing, it was amazing.
Was amazing. Yeah.
Wow. And this was like this.
My grandfather got the bill. From the doctors and stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted $4 million.
$4 million?
Back in 1950s.
$4 million.
Yeah.
For the was this plane and the medical expense?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were.
How do you
the trauma of it and the longevity of it, the recovery. And so Grandpa had Lutherans didn't have insurance back then. They took care of themselves and they took care of their people.
Yeah.
And so Grandpa went and he had 2 sections of land.
Yeah.
Out in Big Springs, Ackerley.
Yeah.
So he put it up for sale. And lo and behold, a land company came by and wanted it really, really bad.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the company, but it was owned by the Bush family. Okay.
Like famous bush name?
Famous
like,
bush. Yeah, that
those
family,
bushes.
those bushes owned the land.
Wow.
And so he sold it to them for a little over $4 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and was able to pay off the bill and not have much left over at all. We never saw a penny of it in our family.
Can't imagine.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But my grandma came home alive, and that was a blessing.
Yeah.
Wow. How old were you?
I was like maybe 4 or 5. It was very, very young. I don't remember the trauma part of it. I do remember Grandma, because we would go and visit her. Dad was always going to visit her across the street, take me with him.
Yes.
And we would hear these stories then.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, and that inspired me. That was a faith. That was really, we gave God the glory for that recovery and being able to have her healing and all of that. Get well again. So anyway,
incredible.
that was in my home, and I grew up and this kind of thing. And I didn't want to be a pastor to begin with, by the way.
Yeah. Were you a farmer route?
Yeah. Well, my dad wanted me to be a farmer route.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I loved math and I loved science. I love physics. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was getting groomed by my educators in the high school and stuff.
Yes.
To do that, to get into energy and to get into sustainability and nuclear. Okay. Nuclear fusion. Okay. I know. I'm not going to go technical on you. Okay.
I wouldn't understand a lick of it.
So I was straight A's and top of my class and graduated very high.
Yeah.
So they were excited about me going to college then, and so I went to Angelo State University, where they had a research center for nuclear fusion. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was in that. I was in the lab. I was around that first year and all that.
Yeah.
And then the math changed.
The math changed.
Well, the classes for math changed.
Gotcha.
From being solid math, on solids and stuff, to being theoretical math or calculus, That's what I call squiggle math,
Yes.
It's squiggly all over the board. You see it in all kinds of science movies,
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was. And I did horrible. It was my very first class that I ever got a D in,
Wow. It got very advanced very fast.
And I refused to accept the D, and I stayed and retook it and brought it up to a B.
Passing grade.
But it was a struggle, and I knew I could not go beyond that.
Yes.
And so I about that time, here's where it gets kind of funny.
Yeah.
About that time, our church, I was baptized a Lutheran, Don't remember it, but they tell me my gown looked great, that little white gown on me and all of that they used to put on the baptismal gown on the babies.
Great.
And I don't remember even seeing a picture of it. I don't know. Pictures were real hard to get back in the early days,
Yeah.
But they tell me about it. So anyway, I went and I went into confirmation then, And that was about the time that my brother, Victor, got sick. He was 4 years old. I was oldest, and I took care of him quite a bit. But we were farmers, so it was him going out into the fields with us and going back. But we would help Mom because there were too many kids, for her to take care of all of us. And so she would need to cook and all that, so I would take care of Victor.
Is this all still like in college time, or is this?
No, it's before
that's
college.
Before college.
It was before college.
Okay.
Yeah. And anyway, he got sick, and he got severely sick until one morning we woke up. We're having breakfast around the table. They insisted we all have breakfast together, mealtime,
Yeah.
And Mom went in to get him, and he was not breathing.
Wow.
And she screamed Dad, I remember this.
You were
Dad,
there for that.
I was there for that. And so were all the other kids around the table and Dad. And he jumped up and ran to find out what was going on.
Yeah.
And she said, we got to go to the hospital. And boom, out the door they went.
Yes.
And just left me in charge of the kids.
Yes.
I was the oldest.
You're the oldest.
And it was okay because we were on the farm. You know, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But scary. And Mom came back crying. And so did Dad because Victor didn't survive. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He died. We had been going to church a lot. I mean, every Sunday, Mom would spit shine all of us in the car, okay?
Yeah.
And all of that. It actually did it on us, okay? I mean, you hear about it, but it actually
She
was
literally
us.
did. Oh my goodness.
And we always got dressed up, and that was the day we had chicken. We didn't have meat. Hardly at all. All vegetables, of course. Yeah. Vegetables were cheap.
Yeah.
But no, we had the funeral for Victor, and that was hard. That was that was the first time I faced death or faced someone dying that I loved. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was hard on me too. And so we went into a family went into the pastor came by and talked to us and talked to us and talked to us, but nobody ever.
No one from the church came by? Or?
Not enough. I guess. I don't know what it was, but it was at the point where we felt like we were abandoned, okay, by God and by the congregation. Yeah. And so we stopped going to church, and I don't remember going to church very much after that.
Yeah.
But the church did have a program of confirmation. Okay. I was about that time, and I was going into high school. I had to wait for my brother. And so we went into confirmation. And it was there that I started hearing about this man, Martin Luther. And Luther's Small Catechism was the thing that was taught in the confirmation class. And Pastor Casper, an older man that was retired but had been doing fill-in, we had our pastor had taken a call.
Oh, okay.
And so we had
like a vacancy.
A vacancy pastor.
Okay.
A vacancy
Gotcha.
pastor, right. But he was good. He was very good.
Yeah.
Entertaining as all get outs and knew his Bible inside and out and told us lots of stories, okay?
Yeah.
And I can remember that I was inspired. And we would talk for hours after class together. Oh. And he was impressed, okay, with my curiosity, but also my intensity, my passion.
Yeah.
And I got to know I had a lot more I asked a lot more questions than we were dealing with in confirmation itself. Yeah. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And so I began to gravitate away from physics and science to the theology and God's grace and discovering who I was, what I was, and who was God, okay? Yeah. And Pastor Casper answered all my questions just very honestly, okay?
That's incredible, yeah.
And showed me in Bible and showed me what Martin Luther taught about it, okay? And so I became a Lutheran through my confirmation class. Yeah. I mean, I was by name only until then. And at that point then I took on the faith and accepted Jesus as my Savior and Lord, but also understood why I believed, okay? Yeah. And what I believed and how, what God had done for me, okay? Yeah. And so Mom said, Lee was my name. That's my middle name, okay?
Oh, gotcha.
Lee.
So she called you Lee.
Yeah, well, my dad was Robert. I was Robert Jr.,
Oh,
okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
They didn't want to confuse the two at home, so they called me Lee at home. Yeah. And so where was I going with that? So Bob asked me if I wanted to become a preacher. She would like that. Yeah. And she started grooming me, and the pastor, Casper, started grooming me until finally Pastor Casper, said, well, we could send you to Concordia Austin. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, really? Yeah. Our family, we had a lot of love, but not a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah.
And so the question became, well, how do I pay? How does this get paid for?
Yeah.
And he said, don't worry about that. They had loans, they had grants for that. And lo and behold, come to find out, in my congregation, we had about 5 different oil men that had oil all over on their properties and stuff, and had royalties going in, and they set up a fund, a professional church workers fund.
Oh, that's incredible.
And they granted me then a full ride, to go to Concordia Austin.
That's incredible. Oh,
And then that's where a young lady stepped into the picture.
Okay.
At Concordia, that's where we met. Yes.
Concordia in Austin.
In Austin,
in the
right?
second year of college. Yeah, in the second year of college, I went and met Jan then, and we met at the chapel. And you want to tell a little of that story?
So it was the first communion chapel of the school year, so it was early in the school year, and my job was the altar guild, getting all the communion ready, the candles ready, all the background stuff to make sure it happened. And so I was in there doing that. Yeah. He was in there, and they were doing sound checks on the microphones. And somebody said, well, we need to do a sound check both at the pulpit and the lectern, 2 separate things back then.
Yeah.
And so I said, hello, my name is Robert Grothe. I mean, what else do you say when you're doing a sound check to a stranger, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
And I looked over at her, and
I said, hello, my name is Janice Matson.
Matson at the time.
Grothe, so long, yeah.
Yeah.
She giggled first, though.
And that's how we
loved
met.
Her giggle.
That was the
was
first
just
time.
like that, right?
Oh.
Yeah, she was doing Paramounts there and redoing, changing the Paramounts for the
Communion.
colors
Yes.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was helping with the technology, the sound check and stuff like that. So
one was serving up front, one was serving more behind
the scenes. Yep, exactly.
Wow.
and that's where we met, and
That's where we met.
I couldn't get my eyes off of her after that. I courted her and took her out to several dances, and we had some adventures together and hung out together and just began to really long discussions about theology. And she was on the same page as me, and a seeker as well, and knowledgeable. She had a lot of knowledge from her background.
Yes.
What kind of background did your family have?
So, I went to parochial school, Lutheran school, all the way through elementary school, and had a strong Lutheran background. My parents are very supportive, and at home, we did the family devotions and prayer times and all of those kind of things. And my mom, so instrumental in helping us with all the memory work we had to do for school, the scripture verses, the hymn verses.
Yes.
And I just remember standing in front or with her and her helping me memorize lots of different stuff. So that is the household that I grew up in.
And music. They liked music too.
Very much music. My dad was an organist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He played for church.
Yeah. Both parents really instrumental.
Both parents.
Bringing
exactly.
Not mine, okay?
No.
Mine
But-
we're not musical, okay.
But both led you to Concordia, Texas, and
that's where we met.
And that's where we met. Yeah.
And continued that, and then went on to Fort Wayne, and
gotcha.
At the senior college there.
Yes.
And began to get all enmeshed into that kind of thing. That was during the big.
Way before your time, the Seminex.
I was going to say
Seminex.
Seminex.
Yes,
So
it was.
before you got to Fort Wayne, it was just the Lutheran Church.
Before you got to Fort Wayne, it was the senior college, which is the last 2 years that pre-med students went.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
For their education.
Junior college and then up to senior college. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For ministerial workers.
Students,
okay.
right.
Yeah. So that's okay.
Yep.
So
we got into that. So I got there, and Jan went to Valparaiso. Okay.
How far is that from Fort Wayne, Valpo?
102.8.
102.8 miles?
Yes.
Oh, were you guys married?
No.
Oh,
we were
okay.
dating.
Okay.
And I drove that highway.
Okay. So I was like, how does that?
Every other
It
week.
was every other week we would get together either at Valparaiso or at Fort Wayne.
You made it work.
We made it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to Indiana, you know it snows on those highways. Well,
Oh, yeah. It's
I
flat,
know,
but it's
but-
mostly flat, right?
it's
Totally flat.
It's flat, but
Okay.
icy. Very icy.
Winters can be pretty brutal.
I would drive along, and people were on the bar ditches. But I'm a pretty good driver, so I just kept careful. But I made it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was bound and determined to visit Jan. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years on that. So she went to Valpo and graduated. I went to senior college, graduated.
Yes.
And then at our graduation, we decided to be married. Okay?
No.
No?
So we actually got married before either of us graduated. So we got married on a Thursday. You graduated on a Friday. I graduated
By a
on
few
a
days.
Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, it was that
It
quick.
was bang, bang, bang.
Married.
Thursday, married.
Graduation.
Graduation.
Baccalaureates, or we had baccalaureates for both colleges and all of that.
Yep.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
That sounds convenient for family, though.
It was.
That's why we did it, because we knew our family would not come up for graduations, but they would come up for a wedding.
Yes.
So, yeah, they came up for
Yeah.
both because it was like.
And so we
bang,
were
bang,
married
bang.
in the chapel there at Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, okay.
Fort Wayne. That's an A chapel. It's
A-frame,
beautiful.
yeah. It's gorgeous.
Is it the same one I see pictures
It's
of
still there.
today?
It's still
Kinda
there.
concrete and
Yep.
A-shaped.
Yep, it's the same chapel. And we
Very
were married
beautiful.
in that chapel in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And so I went to senior college there, graduated, and we were married all on that same weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, I got a job on campus working in the bookstore. Okay.
The Fort Wayne bookstore.
Right.
Okay.
But I didn't have to move to another location.
Yeah.
Because Springfield closed its campus down because of all this conflict going on.
Yeah.
And moved into Fort Wayne.
Oh,
And so
okay.
the seminary moved into my location. Okay.
Yeah.
And they let me keep my job.
Yes.
And so I worked in the bookstore for both the senior college and then also for all the years that I was there at the seminary as well.
Yeah.
And they moved all the professors, and they chased. Well, got to be careful how I say this. The senior college were not hired on again. They were fired.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because of the conflict and everything.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And
they
then
were
it was
closed. It was
seminary.
closed. It was
Yeah.
closed and became seminary then
Right.
at that point.
Gotcha.
And so I was in the middle of all that transition, or we were in the middle of that transition.
Yeah.
But I saw it in my campus. Professors all changed too.
Yeah.
But I remained the same and was in the bookstore and
Yeah.
processed all the books that everybody wanted for their classes.
Yes.
So we did the class books too. But that was it was a little bit tumultuous, I guess is the word for it. It was turmoil, okay? But at the same time, it was the professors worked very hard at instilling us Lutheran doctrine, okay?
Yeah.
And confessions, and of course I got preaching skills, practices, and all the skills and that I would need for being a pastor. And it was good. They were good at what they did, and that was where I also had to complete my Greek courses. And
yes.
and that was hard, but at the same time, it helped me to understand the Word of God better. Okay, I would refer to Greek, and I still do today, on the original language if I'm confused about what this is saying. Okay, what it means, and so so that helped my faith to grow. It also helped me to appreciate then Lutheran theology. I am totally passionate. I'm a total believer that Lutheran theology is very powerful. Okay,
Yes.
it has the ability to explain what is almost unexplainable, okay, the mysteries of God, but and leave it there, leave that tension there,
and leave room for like just the divineness that
big God.
I love it.
Right.
Yeah. The divine. I like that.
I don't know.
The divineness.
The divineness.
Okay. No, but the sacredness, the divineness of that, and be able to carry that forward, and that balance it has sustained me, given me courage, and also during the ups and downs, of life and all of that, and relationship.
Yes, your foundation's built on the rock of God.
People,
that's beautiful.
Right.
In the parishes, and so in the parishes, because it's not easy being a pastor. I
don't know if it's ever been.
It has never been.
Never.
We all learned and the seminary can only prepare you for so much. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it was good on the theology. It was good on the practices and administration of the church, but it was harder on people skills. Okay. And that was expected to be learned in the field. Okay.
Yeah.
So they gave us fieldwork churches and stuff like that, and we went to Prince of Peace as a fieldwork church
in Iowa,
in Fort Wayne, in Indiana.
Yes.
It was a little out of town. It was a small church in Leo, which is outside of Fort Wayne.
And it was an experimental fieldwork church because it was the pastor there was a worker priest.
Oh, from Fort Wayne.
I think it was Springfield. Okay,
worker priest, as in like
he had a job, and he also was a pastor.
Oh, gotcha.
And that was on the cutting edge of acceptance then. Okay, but the people loved him at Prince of Peace, and he was highly supported. And when we got into that environment, they loved us. It was like here. It was family, okay?
Yeah.
And they
family.
And they invited us in. I learned how to preach and teach and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Jan got sick once, and we couldn't do the doctor bills on some high blood pressure stuff.
Bills. Oh no, it was the heart stuff in the hospital.
Fast. Okay. And so they did a fundraiser for us at the fieldwork church, and raised the money to pay the bill.
That's incredible.
And literally paid all of it.
Wow. It was incredible.
It was, and it helped to strengthen our faith and also our appreciation of being
church
in the Christian family. Okay.
Yeah, it was a real faith growing thing, because we're sitting there thinking, how are we going to pay this bill? When we were students, well, he was a student, and just didn't have that income, and when the church said, hey, we just want to help you out, and it was almost to the penny what we owed, and it's like, okay,
oh my goodness,
God is good. He provides. He does provide.
That's beautiful. He's provided 2 times now. You've had crazy medical bills,
right? With my grandparents, and then with Jan. And so very thankful that the Lord was directing all this.
Yeah. So two times, so Leo Fieldwork Church, and that was still while you were finishing up your education.
Right.
And then vicarage. We went on into vicarage.
Yes.
Out in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
So
we were there at right outside of Omaha, right across the river.
Across the river from Omaha,
close to Nebraska.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Pastor Dave was there, and he was great. So we were there a year.
Yeah. And while for both fieldwork and the vicarage, were you also helping out the church, Jan? Because Were you a deacon at that point?
I was a deaconess at that point.
Deaconess. Sorry, I was mixed up those two.
Yes, I was consecrated as a deaconess, and worked in Fort Wayne at Lutheran Homes Incorporated, and did it was for assisted living kind of care, and did pastoral chaplaincy work and social work for them while he was finishing or going to school, going to seminary.
Yeah,
and then when we went for vicarage, no, I didn't.
No.
Because I got pregnant.
You were going to be mom.
Katie, yeah. And the ladies threw a baby shower for her.
Yeah.
And these ladies, they were they were Omaha ladies to the Lutheran to the core.
Yeah.
And it was like, they brought every kind of food you could imagine into the potluck, and the gifts just kept coming in and coming. We hardly bought anything for our first child.
Again, God provides.
God provides.
Yes, you guys were blessed.
We were blessed. Woo, yes.
Incredible. So,
indeed. And we had a child out of it, Katie. Okay,
so a very eventful year for that vicarage.
Yes, it definitely was.
Wow.
And then went on back to the seminary for that 4th year and got a call. Okay, graduated from seminary and got a call.
Yes,
out to West Texas.
Well, you know that well.
Well, they didn't. Nobody wanted to go to West Texas. Okay, but a boy from West Texas. Now let's put him back there. Okay,
yes.
So they did, and they put me in at Sweetwater, Texas, which is about 70 miles north of San Angelo. There.
Okay,
and a little parish had a little bitty organ. The had stenograph. Do you know what those are?
The mimeograph machine.
Mimeograph, stenograph.
What is that? Yeah,
you take a typewriter, you put in a carbon and a paper that's carbon.
Yeah.
You type on it. You can't see the typing. Well, you can if you've got a ribbon, but and I'm hitting your mic. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
and then you run it on this stenograph duplicating machine, and it has a liquid in there that pulls the. Anyway, so technically it prints another page. Okay?
It's just like a more modern printing press machine that you can.
Well, it was a bear. It was breaking down all the time.
Oh no!
And of course, this is where our bulletins came from. This is where everything came from.
Yeah.
And I was on a typewriter, electric typewriter. Woo woo.
Yeah.
But it was so strong that it cut a hole in the stenograph stencils. You know, the O's. The O's got holes
punched out,
so they were solid instead of O's. Okay, when I printed.
Wow,
it was rough, but that congregation was fun to be in, and I learned a lot from that first parish. It was a blended church of ELCA and LCMS.
Wow,
2 congregations had been merged together.
Yeah,
and it needed a lot of hand-holding and a lot of care. Okay,
were you called as the lead senior pastor?
I was only pastor,
sole pastor.
Yeah, the pastor before had taken a call. Okay,
yeah,
it's a small parish, and so it's kind of and so I was there 2 years and made a lot of friends and some not friends. Okay,
enemies. No.
Well, not enemies, but people that were a little difficult to deal with.
Hard to get along with. Church work.
Yeah. Not everybody agreed on doctrine. Okay, and so there was a lot of discussions.
Blended church.
A lot of discussions and a lot of transitions. Yes. So we were there, but we did have one experience that really tested our faith. Okay, we had left. Rob was born there as well, and so was Katie and Rob, and we left them with people that we trusted in the congregation, and we went to a pastors' conference in Dallas.
Well, Rob wasn't born yet, but yes, we did go to a conference.
Yeah. And when we got back, we had no garden. We had holes all over we had dents all over our car.
Wow.
We had a bad roof, windows busted. I mean, it had hailed. Huge.
Violent hailstorm.
Very hailstorm.
Wow. Yeah. And everybody in the community had the same thing happen to it.
Yeah.
Luckily, Katie was fine.
Yes.
Inside the house and all of that. But we were wiped out. I had a beautiful garden in the back. I spent time on and it was gone. There wasn't any stalks left. It was bad.
And the roof was destroyed. And at that time, we lived in a parsonage.
Yeah.
And the church needed to repair the roof. Well, now the roof was going to be repaired by insurance instead of by the cost of the church.
Oh.
So there was another blessing that God definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then our car had all these little pock marks, from the
hail.
Yeah. And somebody said, I think I can get all of those out.
Wow.
And just totally.
Ice cubes. it gets so hot
He
in
stuck them
Texas.
out.
Yeah.
In Texas, it gets over 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And so he would get it. He would leave it out in the sun, get it really good and hot.
Yeah.
And then he would just put ice cubes on it, and it would pop out.
Oh, that's witchcraft.
Well, that's what he told us. That's what
magic.
That's
what
magic.
we thought too.
It was
We had
magic.
never seen it before, but again, a blessing. Okay,
Yeah.
we were able to have our car back, and not too bad a shape. But I think he must have done some other things too, because I
I'm
can't
sure.
believe.
I'm
So,
sure
so
he
this
did.
this was
Ice.
Sweetwater still.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so 2 years in Sweetwater.
2 years in Sweetwater, and then I took a call down to Houston. Okay.
Okay, then
And
Houston.
stepped up into now an associate position. Okay.
Okay.
And I was pastor of outreach and evangelism. Okay.
Yeah.
We were there for quite a while. We were there for 7 years.
Okay, 7 years is time.
Yeah, and our family then grew, and
Yes.
we had dozens and dozens of friends that were having children as well.
Oh,
and so we formed a group, and it was a tight group, and so we were having Bible studies together and dances together and potlucks together, and we would share babysitters and all of that kind of thing, and it was a tight group.
Yeah.
Out of that group today, correct me if I'm wrong, Jan, but isn't 3 of them now pastors?
Yes.
3 of
them
those
are pastors.
people that were in that group became Lutheran pastors as
Wow.
well. And it was a powerful group, okay?
Yeah, that's so
And
cool.
I thank my lucky stars to have been a part of that, okay? And
Yeah.
we together and the families helping each other and all of that, it taught us a lot
Yeah.
about what it means to be Christian, but also faith-based, being able to live together and do things together in a family type situation. So
Yes.
So,
So
anyway,
great church.
so Christ
It
Memorial.
was great
Yeah.
church.
What was it called? Christ
Memorial.
Christ Memorial.
Lutheran.
Mhm.
And it was, like I said, evangelism. And so I got teams together, and we went out visiting on all the visitors that came to our congregation.
Yeah.
That congregation had mostly oil execs in it.
Oh, back to the oil people in the church.
Yeah,
Right?
well, yeah, it was
Texas, I
No,
guess.
only this
It's
time
Texas.
it was not the driller. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It was not the drilling companies and stuff like that. This time it was the ones that were that were
Like refining.
refining
Okay.
and doing the final product
Yeah.
to get it. Shell, Conoco, Exxon,
Wow.
all were within 5 miles of our congregation.
And the managers of those.
And the managers
Yeah.
of those were in our congregation. Yeah, it was
Wow.
it was some powerful people there.
Yeah.
and
at the Lutheran Church in Houston, Texas. That's so
Yes.
cool.
absolutely, and we were privileged to be a part of that.
Yeah.
but it was also meaning that their offerings were nice.
Yes, they funded the church.
They funded the church, but they also funded evangelism. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was able to now have funds to not unlimited, but I was having nice funds
You had a nice budget to
do marketing.
to do that.
do marketing. So
Yeah.
so I did a evangelism outreach marketing campaign.
Incredible.
And
Wow.
besides the visitations and all that, we went in and we were able to get billboards, signs up for come to Christ Memorial kind of thing in the summer. All this was done. I generated a newsletter, a outreach news. I took our local newsletter to our church. We had about about 600 members. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we took that newsletter and I rewrote the whole thing into an outreach look and feel and the message inside of it. I redid the content. And then we had it printed on 8 pages of 8.5 by 11, folded. Yeah. And we then put and blanketed 3 neighborhoods around our church. It was like 50,000 items. And we put stamps on them and we sent it out. And and the newsletter was just about what our ministries were all about and what we were doing.
So that was a lot of what you were doing at Christ Memorial.
At Christ Memorial and stuff.
About 7 years or so.
Right. It doubled, almost doubled the size, the attendance that fall. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we went from about doubled. Maybe it wasn't, but we brought
it vastly expanded.
It vastly expanded, and for about 4 or 5 months, we were.
Yeah,
it went well.
Yes.
and I learned what evangelism was and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I was excited about that. And then I got a call. It was time to move on. Okay, and so I got a call to St. Luke's then at that point.
Okay, but that must have been a very peculiar call from in Houston, Texas. You lived in the Midwest, back down to Texas, and then all of a sudden Northwest, this remote place and
different culture. It's a different culture up here.
Yes.
We were in the South, okay, and I was a Southern boy. She was a Southern girl, okay.
She was not a Southern girl.
Oh, that's true.
The Midwest was a little more.
The Midwest was more what
she was a transplant. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But what was that process? Taking a call to the Northwest.
I wanted to get away from the flat and the hot and the sand and the bugs. Okay,
those are that is not that's not the Northwest.
All of those Jan and I struggled with we had ants everywhere in our backyards.
I remember
fire ants.
Yes,
fire ants.
The little black fire. Yeah, she couldn't go outside without getting bit every time.
Yeah,
I remember we took a vacation to see his cousin who lived in the San Francisco area.
Yeah,
and they're kind of Northwest, and the whole area was just gorgeous. The weather was amazing. The ocean was right there. And it's like, I got to live somewhere around here.
Yeah.
This is like perfect.
Yeah. Oh,
and so I let my name be known out there that we wanted to get a call, out into that area, okay? North California or Oregon or Washington.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I got an interview from Warren Schumacher, okay? He was pastor there at Hillsboro.
Yeah.
And then became president of our district, too, shortly after that.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to come in as evangelism. But that I got... I didn't quite make the list, okay?
For the Hillsboro.
Okay. And so I guess that list the president still got moving around, and it came to St. Luke's. And so Vic Hippie, our pastor here, saw it, brought me in. I knew I was in a different environment whenever I got off the plane. Vic had come to pick me up.
Yeah, what airport was that?
It was at SeaTac.
It was SeaTac. Okay.
And he was on the freeway driving, and then talking, and we did a lot of the interview right there in the car, because he had a baseball game to go to. And to play. He was a member of our St. Luke's baseball team.
Yeah.
And so I sat in the bleachers then and watched the game and all that. And that's where I got my interview, if you will. Because he would get off, rotation. When his rotation, he was able to sit in the pew in the bleachers with me.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. And of course, he showed me the tour and stuff, and I really liked it. Liked the area. Jan said, "Yeah."
Oh no! I had never seen it.
Oh, that's right.
Until
you didn't come with me.
No,
that's right.
So that's right. You just had to hear about it all.
I heard about it. Two small children, and drove into Federal Way sight unseen.
She had to trust me that I had made a good decision, and she liked it when we got here.
Yes, good.
But anyway, so that whole thing, and I became in as pastor of outreach here at St. Luke's.
Was that your title?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, and that's what. Well, I had done. That was kind of on my resume.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what you just did in Houston.
Yeah. And so I came here with Vic, but Vic had a very different idea about what outreach was,
what that looked like. Okay.
And we were fine. We worked at it, but he loved that visitation part that I did there, and he wanted me to duplicate it here. Yeah. And so I did. I put together several teams, and we went visiting by the hundreds. Was it very effective? Yes and no. Okay.
It depends on how you.
It worked out much better in Texas. Okay.
Yes.
It did not work out so well up here in the Northwest.
Yeah.
A different community, different neighborhood, needed a different kind of outreach on it, and I never could quite grasp what that was. Okay.
Yeah. But what did work in Houston just for one reason or the other, it just wasn't the same.
It didn't do the same. And of course, we didn't have the budget for doing the marketing part of it.
Didn't have the oil execs
No
here.
oil execs here. Right.
Right. And so we didn't do the big, billboard campaigns and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we did do the visitations and didn't do the newsletter part. I wanted to do a newsletter, but couldn't afford it. So we went just visiting, okay?
Yeah.
And I did a lot of visiting and stuff, but we would get them, and we would get a pretty good class. I would probably be getting 15 new members a session.
Yeah.
And it dwindled over time too, but
it ebbed and flowed.
It ebbed and flowed.
Yeah.
But we were bringing in a pretty good group for new members and stuff.
Yeah.
But we were also finding out that they would come and join for a few months or years, okay?
Yeah.
And then migrate away. And,
Yeah.
and it was frustrating. And so Vic really worked hard at trying to identify. Well, anyway.
Yes.
He worked very hard at it. I have to give him credit for that. And was able to bring in some new programs, okay, that seemed to be working and stuff, but doing the small groups, the life group kind of, it wasn't called life group back then.
Like small group
ministries and stuff like that. That was the thing that was starting to work, okay.
Yeah.
So,
And so were you in charge of that?
No, I actually wasn't. He had, I think there was another.
I don't remember who all was on staff then.
I don't either, but
I
wasn't assigned to that responsibility.
Yeah, but you were helping with like pastoral duties,
right?
Teaching,
I was doing
preaching.
a lot of teaching, preaching,
Okay.
and new member classes. We did 3 a year, and was able to fill. I mean, that was pretty good. We had that. And then confirmation. We had a large confirmation classes.
Gotcha.
Large, I say. Not by Southern standards.
Well, yeah, that's different.
Very large. Again, a different environment.
Yeah.
But we did have, maybe 10 to 12, 10 to 15 confirmands a year as well. So.
Gotcha. So kind of next milestone, or what next after St. Luke's?
Okay, St. Luke's, and then stepped away. Okay, at that point, I don't know what you would say, sabbatical.
yeah. You personally just needed.
I needed space. I needed time to get away. Be on my own for a while. So I did, and that was like 10, 12, 15 years ago, Jen.
And
1995, I think, is when you started that.
Okay.
1995. Okay, we came up here in 1991.
Okay. And did you start working at that same time, or?
So when we moved up here, I did. I had talked to Pastor Vic about a job here. I said I really want to do a job where I can be with my children when they're off of school, and then he and with the school board offered me a job as a preschool teacher.
Oh, okay.
So I did that for the first 10 years that we were here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were teacher.
I was teacher. Yeah.
And she did real good. Their kids loved her. And, after a while, they would see her out in the public and always go up and give her a hug. And I was so impressed.
It was amazing.
Oh,
I was so impressed with that. Yeah.
And then kids grew older and did not need me at home. Well, Katie was gone. Rob was working all his vacation, and I was by myself. So I went to Pastor Vic and I said, okay, I'm ready for a change.
Yeah.
And then switched roles and became the director of discipleship, spiritual growth, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's how that role transformed.
That's how that.
And she was able to use her training then. Quite a bit of her training could be used for that.
Finally, what you've learned in deaconess.
What I went to school for, right.
Good.
Yes.
Yay. Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you stepped away. I guess, how would you describe that era?
It was tough. I was in a funk. I was in a depression. Okay, depressed quite a bit. Jan loved me through it all. Okay,
yeah,
and was able to. I started a tech company. Okay, and did computers. For small businesses and stuff. I started TCM,
like
internet services, and was able to help get. We supported about 275 small businesses in the area. Okay,
yeah,
and I had a team of people that would. I couldn't do it all.
Yeah,
and so we would go around and do upgrades and software repairs and fixing networks.
Did you have like a business location, or was that like run out of the garage?
No, I didn't. I had an office here in South Federal Way.
Yeah,
and worked out of that office down.
That is no small feat.
No.
Run and operate a business.
No. So I ran the business, and we did a lot of that type of thing. But we started getting squeezed by the big companies wanting smaller. They didn't think the small companies were profitable. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was able to make a niche for myself and for my people, for my team.
Yeah.
And but then they started edging us out and offering services through faster internet, faster. It was the telecoms that were offering web development and computer services and all of that got squeezed out. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I needed something else. So I went to. I said, well, I got a lot of books. Maybe I can do something with Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I became Amazon was just at that point where they began to offer used books, right, side by side with their new books, on their product pages, okay,
and that was pretty early in Amazon,
and I became a test subject for that along with another group, okay, they brought us into think tanks set us up in a room with one-way mirrors, and they were videotaping us and analyzing us and all of that. It felt so awkward. They never got any truth out of us at all. Okay, and it was intimidating, but I don't think it was very helpful to them and all that. So, and I felt for them because I knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to identify what are the problems and how do we solve them for the third-party sellers, what they call third-party sellers.
Yeah.
So I went in and said, we have a little forum of sellers there, and we all talked about what can we do to make it better for us. Okay.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I thought it through, and I said, I know what we can do. We can get us together in a conference. And so I invited the third-party sellers to sign up and become a part of the Amazon Sellers Conference. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
We formed our own little identity brand there.
And the first conference was in our living room.
Oh, nice. Very official.
Yes, it was. And 20 people showed up and flew from all over everywhere.
20 people in your living room.
It
squash time, but they managed. Yeah.
It was squishy, yes.
Wow.
But we made it. And Amazon caught wind of it and said, we hear you have a conference going on in your, and their headquarters here in Redmond area.
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And so they said, so they're here locally.
Yeah,
they were saying, we heard you have a conference, sellers conference. Can we come and visit that conference?
Oh,
wow. And we talked. I went back I said, let me talk to the group. And so I talked to the group before they got there and all that, in the conference area.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we don't want, we we don't want them there the first day.
Oh, okay.
We want to be able to have freedom to say anything and everything we want that first day.
Yes.
But let's invite them the second day.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And they thought that was great. We thought that was great. And we did it. And it was a good decision. It was a very good decision because on my back deck, we sat there and we chewed everything up, all the details up, and came back together with a better plan than what they had been giving us. And I said, but we got to have a priority. So I took some. I didn't prepare for this, okay? So I took some grocery bags, paper grocery bags, tore them all up, and taped them up on my window in the back on the back deck.
Yeah.
And I said, let's prioritize these.
Yeah.
And we did. We prioritized we took all of the 30 or 40 concerns we had, and we prioritized them and said, now we'll go first, second, and third.
Yes.
The VPs were there. 3 VPs showed up at my house on Sunday. Then it was a Saturday conference, and so Sunday they showed up on my house and they sat on my hearth. I said, "Well, you can have chairs. They'll let you have chairs."
Yeah.
We didn't have much space, and they said, "No, we'll just sit on the hearth." And so that's what they did, and they just listened, and it was great. That's all they did, though. They were just listening to our conversations and all that. They were so highly impressed. They asked, "Can you come to our place on Monday?" Okay. And we said, "Well, our conference ends. Everybody's planning on leaving Monday. Well, can anybody stay?" Well, 3/4 of them said, "Yes, of course we can stay."
Yeah.
And they bussed us then. From my house, they bussed us over to their headquarters on Monday, and we were able to sit in their conference center, which holds about 150 people.
Yeah. And, what came out of all this?
What came out of it was that we were able now to put input into what it was, how the process worked, and it improved the process substantially.
Yeah.
And they were excited. They being the engineers. We got there talking around the table. They said they wanted us to talk around the table. All 12 of us that were left, okay, and we did. And all of a sudden, people started coming in to the room and standing on the walls, around the walls. They didn't say anything. They just came standing around the walls. And while we were processing with the VP, and then all of a sudden, the room got very quiet, and in came Jeff Bezos. And he said, "I am glad you guys are selling for us and all of that. And what can we do to make improvements?"
Wow.
Now, see, that's a think tank.
Yeah.
They got honest answers, and we gave them our best, okay?
Yeah.
Suggestions and stuff. They went and implemented them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we were very pleased that they did because it improved everybody, okay?
Yeah.
And improved their sales.
That's
Anyway.
I find it so fascinating. You somehow have a knack for like finding the wealthiest people in the world. Oil execs, Jeff Bezos, what's next? I don't know.
Yeah, we started doing those once a year then after that. And it grew from the 20 in my living room to the next year. It went to about 50, 60 people, and we moved to a small hotel up by the airport. And then from there, we went to the Marriott. And by the time that third, fourth year, we were having about 700 people show up. And they were bringing in 100 or so engineers from Amazon. And we met there in the lobby and did that.
So a lot of this era, I guess, just worked with Amazon and booksellers.
Booksellers.
Okay. It was used. All of us were selling used books, and then used CDs. Spun on that. It just became all kinds of items at that point, and that's when I stepped out. Okay. Just started thinking about retirement and this other things, and that's in the last few years. Okay?
In the last few years, because the journey still going on.
Yeah. I feel like it was a time of healing, and the Lord prepared me for something bigger. Okay, and that's what I'm putting together now. I haven't stopped ministry. Okay, I haven't stopped serving the Lord. I feel very called, and I still feel that people are hurting. Okay, they need to hear the gospel, and I feel very strongly that we as a church need to reinvent ourselves. Okay. To some extent, to a gradual transition. Okay, I'm not talking about a revolution. I'm talking about a transition of how can we be more relevant? Okay.
Yes, and I would say that's a big can of I think like can of worms, and like I've learned in digesting so much from this conversation, like already, like just how like. From your humble beginnings to just kind of where the Lord has brought you, both of you, like together now. And I'd say, Andy, you are flesh and bone. like any given Sunday. You guys are here probably most Sundays. Right?
Most Sundays.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. We like it here.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you've been here this long.
This is our family here.
This is our family of faith. And so I like listeners, like people, like you're listening to this, like there's so much to unpack like in your life. And that's just the beauty of conversation. If you're listening to this, like ask Robert, ask Jan about like, what was it like? Like, what is it like now? What is this process? Because there's so much, and that's just the beauty of conversation that I love from this, and just what I've learned from you guys so far. So I'd say keep the conversation going. That's just kind of one of my favorite mantras from this. Like I'd like hate to like wrap up so quickly, but there's so much to unpack, and I want to give something everyone can chew on, and you guys attend most Sundays, either 8:15, 10:45. Maybe if you show up at 9:30, you'll probably run into you guys.
Yes,
we've started
in Bible study.
We've started going to both 8 and 10:45. So we're not just we're wanting to meet more people.
Yes. Yep. So if so I don't like. There's no pure summary, but God is good, and his handiwork is in your life.
Amen.
And it's very evident.
Definitely.
So listeners at home, talk to Jan and Robert, and if they say, no, we can't talk, then don't talk to them. But but if you find them on a Sunday morning, keep the conversation going. And if you want to share your testimony, your life story, we'd love to have you on this podcast, time permitting, if my schedule works.
Please.
Yes. So
I second that. This podcast is fantastic, and would like to see more of this, of the people sharing
faith stories. So keep the conversation going, but more importantly, keep it going in person. Talk on Sunday mornings and talk where you can, and be the church together. So thank you, Jan and Robert, so much for this conversation.
Thank you for inviting us.
Of course. And keep the conversation going. We'll see you guys sometime. I don't know how to end this. Bye.
That's the end of the episode, but we want to continue the conversation. Continue the conversation by sharing this episode, subscribing, or leaving a review. Connect with us on Instagram at 2414 podcast. Connect with us through email at 2414@stlukes-church.com. Or best of all, keep the conversation going by inviting someone to process with you, so that you can each walk away with more understanding that leads to more conversation as the journey continues. If you happen to be in the Seattle-Tacoma area of Washington, stop by on a Sunday morning and say hi. 2414 is a podcast produced by St. Luke's Lutheran Church in Federal Way, Washington. To find more content, discover upcoming opportunities to connect in person, or to support the show, head on over to stlukes-church.com. Thanks for walking with us.